Hey everyone, welcome back. We actually have a couple of topics today. We're not just gonna randomly chat, although it's okay. I enjoyed last podcast where we just spoke about whatever. Did you see the comments? Steven's already on
Oh
you.
yeah. Legends. I thought it was a side game, but I guess which is good. I kind of don't mind it being mainline, but who knows? For Pokemon, it's called income, right? Money, printed money. So you don't care if it's a side game.
Love it, love it. It's so good. Well, we're gonna start this off with some somber news. I'm sure you guys by now, I'm sure you've heard Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st. That was a big surprise to me yesterday when the news broke. I was gonna do like a vlog or something, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what to say. Like you said before we started recording this, it's unbelievable. Like how many people are showing like their respect and tributes. In Dragon Quest X, Cranberry and I today, we wore the Toriyama mask,
Oh,
and
nice.
like yeah, it's sad. Like for me, I know for like the whole planet, it's gonna be like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and like all the different mangas and stuff that he did and animes that he was part of and everything. But for me, like obviously Dragon Quest, what I'm wearing right here, this little guy here, one of the most famous little designs. And I was just talking, like I was just saying before, that we lost Koichi Sugiyama. I think it was last year or the year before, and now with Toriyama gone, all that's left is Yuji Horii, and it's crazy to think like Dragon Quest 12 is going to be a damn sad game now for like
Yeah.
longtime fans, because it'll probably say like in loving memory of, and that'll be, it's crazy, man. And you said like we're all getting older, but it's crazy to think like Miyamoto, like he's getting up there, man.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
And it's like him, it's, I don't even want to talk about death, but like him retiring from Nintendo, that's going to be weird, man. It's going to be so weird, because even though today like his role is so significantly different, you can still feel his touch on different games and stuff like that. And it's going to be interesting to see with Dragon Quest now, like what exactly happens, because Dragon Quest, I don't know if you know this, it's a little bit like, well, at least okay, my understanding, because we're gonna get fanboys that are gonna come in and rip me a new one. But my understanding is that Dragon Quest is actually a little bit like the Pokemon company, where like Pokemon, where I believe Square Enix owns all of it, but there's like Toriyama's company, Bird Studio, is the one that like, I don't think you can make a Dragon Quest game without them
Exactly.
signing off, type of thing. So, and same with like Sugiyama, like if I'm not mistaken, like his production company or whatever it is like own the rights to all the music and all of that. So I've always wondered like what the hell happens in situations like this, because yeah, the corporate parent might own, like you can't just release Dragon Quest on any system or whatever, but the finer details like this, I'm really curious to see what happens now. And also about that touch, right? Like they're not going to suddenly dramatically change Dragon Quest. That would be utterly ridiculous to do. But I am curious to see like what happens.
Yeah, it would be interesting. A lot of I don't. You're right. I don't think they'll change the core mechanic. Maybe they'll update some stuff though, right? I mean, like those. It's interesting about Japanese RPGs. Kind of died out in the West for a long time, and now they're kind of making a little bit of a comeback. But they're not quite the. A lot of people don't like turn-based combat anymore, dude. It's
Well,
ridiculous.
is there
Well, not ridiculous, but
is there even, what games still use turn based?
not many. Well, the Unicorn game that just came out got excellent reviews. We'll probably put a little notch to the vanillaware, but Yeah, you're right. And even if it is turn-based, it's kind of different, right? But Dragon Quest
Dragon Quest
11
is
was
the last one
the
that I
last,
know
yeah,
of,
the last.
that the last like holdout of that. And for me, like, I don't want that to change. And that's a Jarrod thing. Like, I love like series getting, like evolving and whatever, but the thing with Dragon Quest is like I like the tradition for that. Like I like that. And it would be, there's all these rumors saying that they're going to like go real time and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, but it would be nice to have one series keep the traditional, mechanics, if you will, because like
But
Final Fantasy and all of those are long gone.
yeah,
With
but isn't the remake of 7 the one that's out allows you to do a real time or a traditional, right?
I don't know,
Maybe you could
actually.
do something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. That's gonna tie into another one of my little
Yeah,
topics.
people in
Be-
the comments to let us know, but I think it allows you to do both.
I'm not sure.
Final
I know
Fantasi's drastically changed. You're right.
Ahmed actually got into Final Fantasy remake, and he was telling me, it was like, "Hey, Jared, you should try it out," and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I want to, because like right now, like I'm not really doing too much," and it was kind of funny because he had also bought a PlayStation Portal. We talked about that before, right? Like how that I don't understand. Everyone was complaining like crazy about this thing and everything, and then all of a sudden it's sold out worldwide. Like I'm like, okay, then what the hell are people complaining about? Anyway, that should be a little bit that I should be able to use because my television is almost occupied all the time now,
Ah,
and
really?
so I don't like if I want a game. That's what was so good with like the Steam Deck was like I like and Switch and stuff is like I can when I have the TV, I can play on the TV. When I don't have the TV, who cares, right? Like you just away you go and you're good to go. And so, anyways, total fluke, okay, total fluke. But a PlayStation Portal actually popped up on Best Buy of all places, which normally I buy everything through Amazon. And anyway, it'll be here in like 2 weeks or something. That should be fine. I was just saying before we got on this that my internet here is like it's not it's garbage by today's standard because it's not fiber optic, so it's only as fast as coaxial can basically take it, which is
Ooh.
not that great. And anyway, but the difference with the portal is that you're not actually connecting to servers. You're connecting to your own device, so you don't need as much bandwidth to do that. So I'm very curious to see how this actually goes. Ahmed was saying he had a nightmare on his side setting it up and
Really?
everything. Yeah, but he the way he was saying it, it sounds like he's got a lot of stuff that goes from like his main router. I don't know if he has like a separate unit, and then I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. I'll definitely update everybody on that. I'm curious to get my hands on it to see if there's a lot of lag, a lot of latency, or is it okay? It should be okay. I mean, for you're just literally streaming the signal from your PlayStation onto your screen. It shouldn't be that bad. And I do it a lot here with my Steam Deck. So like if I wanted to play something like on the TV or vice versa from like PC or whatever, that's what's kind of cool is like you can use your gaming rig and stream whatever the game is onto your Steam Deck. So I was like, okay, that's kind of
That's cool. Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of cool. So you can get like the best of all worlds. But I've talked enough. Which of these new games? You talked a lot about new games last week. So which of these did you actually get a chance to try? I'm
Man,
curious.
I tell you that brand new interesting game that we're gonna get. I have it. I bought it, but I haven't got a chance to play it. But I will. I did read some reviews on it, so it's interesting. It's kind of your gothic type take. Not very battle focused, by the way, guys. It's a lot more story driven, and you
Okay.
have to do like an investigation. So I love that kind of stuff. So if you're more into your battling, like your monster battle games, it might not be for you. But if you're into more of a serious tone, kind of more not historic, but kind of that kind of vibe with more deep plots and story-driven game, it's going to be. But for next week, I'll definitely play because I plan on playing it.
But
this weekend.
is it actually a like a monster taming game?
Well, what you do is there's these spirits. They're called stewards or something like that.
Okay.
Their proper name. I haven't played a little more information next week, but basically you fight them and you can then have an opportunity for them to join you or take dominance over them. This guy's kind of like a demon, it's not slayer, but demon controller kind of guy. He has magic, so you can control them and use them in battles.
Okay, so yeah,
like so yeah, it's still monster taming, whatever you want to call it, but it's not like no player. It's a single player story driven game that just happens to have this unique mechanic. So it uses they're basically minions. Instead of you recruiting a lot of people in your party, you have these monsters that you slay.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's story driven, but it's gotten really good reviews. Some jankiness they say about like the voice syncs a little off and stuff like that, but that's all it can be fixed with patches.
And that's the only reason, Tim, I didn't buy it. Right now is I'm waiting because they said it plays like absolute garbage on the deck right now.
Oh, does it? Oh,
well, no, but that's to be expected. That's totally to be expected right now. And I've learned my lesson. I was playing Siberia New World. I always liked that series. It's an adventure series for those that don't know. And this is the latest one, and it's kind of sad because the creator passed away like a year before it's released. This is like the fourth one, I want to say, or the fifth one in the series. And so they dedicated the game to him. You can tell it was a little lower budget than like a modern AAA type game, because adventure games these days, it's not like, years back. They're not like huge multi-gajillion selling unless they're like those, what were they called? Telltale or whatever it was. Like The Walking Dead and all those.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that company gone?
I think yeah, exactly. But like those were really, really successful. But like traditional adventure games, I find have kind of fallen out of like the spotlight type of thing. But I've always liked those. I've always liked your Myst style games. Those have always been really, really interesting.
Oh, Myst is a blast in the past.
Oh yeah,
Monkey Island's on Game Pass, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like Monkey Island.
Another point and click story driven game.
Yeah, exactly. So this one isn't. It's like I'm.
Oh no, it's a full-fledged RPG. Yeah.
Like like you can actually move around and stuff. Like it was really cool. But because I wanted, like, I'm putting the Steam Deck through its paces, and because of that, I was like, holy crap, man. If a game has not been sort of optimized for the Steam Deck, you can feel it, man. Because it's not even so much in the graphics or the frame rate. It's more that it kills the battery. Like, kills the battery. So I was getting like maybe 50 minutes out of that game, something like that. And it was like good. The fan was so loud and the system was so hot, because it's sort of like it's a PC, right? So if you put the settings at ultra on any PC, that your PC will try to do it, right? Like if it has the capability of even, you might go down to 1 frame or something. But that's where I think the Steam Deck, that's really where it differentiates itself from like the Switch and stuff, is that, and not everyone is going to like that, right? That, like, first thing I did, I went into the frame rate, cut the frame rate till 30 frames. The minute I did that, fan shuts off, everything starts running smoother. It's just little things like that. So what I'm waiting for with the game that we can't pronounce, the Thathamarag or whatever the hell it is, I'm just waiting until they do one update. Yeah, so there'll probably be a patch or an update next week or the week after to fix some of the early bugs. Once they do that, then Proton will be fine. Like, then I can put the Proton layer, and then I can try it out. Contra is coming out, I think,
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I will have played it by next week and definitely.
Yeah,
But yeah,
please do,
it looks
because
a very good, interesting game, and I can't wait to get into it.
yeah, and like I want to hear what you think, and then I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna jump on. I've got my gaming rig right below me, like right where my legs are. I have that now that I know that you can easily stream these sorts of things. I'm like, okay, well that changes the game here. And as long as your signal, because remember, it's all wireless, right? So, like, as long as your signal doesn't get too interrupted, it's bloody good. Like, I was playing a whole bunch of games on my Mac through the Steam Deck, which was
Oh,
awesome.
nice,
You
nice.
know, so, and it's super easy to do. All you have to do is open Steam on whatever device you want to use. If you're using like your gaming rigs, like just get it open basically. You don't have to open any video games or nothing. Just open the Steam client. Your Steam Deck registers and says like, "Oh, there's like, you're playing on this. Do you want to control that device?" And if you say yes, done. So,
That's so cool.
it is cool, man. And like now that Ahmed was telling me about, like the PlayStation Portal and stuff, I was like, because I've tried this, I was like, okay, I can start to understand why Sony did that. At first I thought they were absolutely bonkers. Like I was like, who the hell is this, who's going to use this? Now I'm starting to sit back and be like, okay. Like, and now I was saying earlier about GeForce Now. That's something for you to try.
Oh,
It's
GeForce?
Yeah, GeForce Now. It's totally free. Okay. Now, okay, it's totally free. It's totally free if you want just like a base PC. It streams. It's all cloud based. It's all streaming. But what's super interesting is
Let's
that
see.
if you pay a monthly subscription, you get their top of the line graphics cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like through streaming, right? So like they put your game on some super computer and then you're streaming that supercomputer's sort of, power. But here's what's super interesting with it. It links in to all of your game clients. So Steam, Epic, all of them.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, you were talking about cloud. I think cloud. Oh, unfortunately, like you have internet, you said not the best, but for me, I have fiber and real fast. I think cloud's
Well,
probably going to
what
be
do you
the
know what your speed
ultimate
is?
future.
What is your speed?
Oh, it's 1,000, so it's really fast.
Yeah, so 1000.
1K.
So you're 1
Yeah,
gigabit per second?
yeah, 1 gigabit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so perfect. Okay, so here,
I wonder if there's any. I don't think there's any that fast in that right now.
well, here, if we had 5, it goes up to 3.5 gigabits. Could you
Ooh, I have to
imagine?
look into it. Maybe
Like,
it's
could you
even more.
imagine? Oh, I'm sure, Tim. If you have 1 gigabit, you guaranteed have more, like for sure.
Honestly, dude, I think it's more than enough. But I'll probably get to see about upgrading because I have no issues with
Oh no,
streaming.
well, dude, no. There's no point in upgrading if you don't need. For me though, to give you an idea, I'm at 100
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You
Mbps.
big difference.
Big difference, and this is what's killing it, right? Like this is the whole thing. But like I legitimately think, you know, as long as they can, and they got to move their butts though. Like
Yeah.
I've been in this place for 12 years now, and they still haven't done it.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
the thing, right? Like that's where I'm like 12 years is a long time and they're still not done. So
Right.
I'm looking at a variety of solutions right now. Because there are a few things I could do. Like I could do 5K. I could do the only thing with cellular is not 100%. That's the only thing. It's not like an Ethernet connection with that kind of speed, you know. But what's super cool with that is that just you don't need any of the hardware anymore. Like at
Yeah.
all.
Exactly.
At
Yeah.
all. Imagine connecting in your Steam library and your Epic Game Store library and having everything run max settings, ultra settings, all of that.
I'd start trying to tell. I mean, Nintendo's not going to do it, but that would be a great option for them since they are traditionally very weak with hardware or not competitive. Having a 100% cloud-based system with that kind of infrastructure, well, of course they would lease it out, right? It'd save them. They make a shit ton of money, but the problem is that, like you said, the infrastructures, especially in Americas, are not there yet.
No,
I mean,
yeah, yeah.
Japan and Korea are way ahead of us in
Yeah.
that regards, so they might be prepared. But weird because Japan's predominantly a mobile market, so you'd think they would embrace that kind of stuff easily. Yeah, a cloud's going to be interesting, guys, because I think that's the ultimate future. Because hardware, that you don't really make a lot of money off of hardware. Look at Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo's the only company I think that makes an actual profit, or a small, probably a huge amount, because they use outdated technology. So
yeah,
but mostly traditionally, you don't make money off of hardware. You make money off accessories, licensing, and
licensing, exactly. Like I think it's like when a guy like Steven can do GeForce Now max settings.
Oh yeah, Steven, there you go.
Like
he would then be. I'm pretty sure he would love to play some PC games, right?
Well, right now he's not playing anything practically.
Oh whoa!
But seriously, like I think, and Nintendo did dabble. Like Capcom did release. What was it like? I think it was like some of the Resident Evils, I want to say, or I forget exactly what it was, but they did like streaming versions of those.
Yeah. There are. I think on Switch, and there's some other like what was that one? Horror Cloud or something where she could control things with her mind. That's not a 100% cloud, and the visuals are pretty much identical to the.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And on the Switch, which is amazing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, and it's like, but I do, because of the situation I'm in, I feel it. Like I do feel it. Like
cloud's not an option for you.
No, I just tried it. I literally just downloaded GeForce Now. I went into the network setting things. They have like a little tool that lets you test, and they were like, "Yeah, don't do this." And I was like, "Yeah, exactly." But it kind of sucks because just imagine being on a beautiful iMac like this, with like it's like a 5K display type of thing, and having your games running an ultra on a display like that. That would be unbelievable, man. Like it would just be unbelievable.
That would be great.
And especially low latency, no lag, no like I can't even imagine. But anyway, all of this leads in. Where's my little list? Where's my list? Yeah, okay. So I'll let you know how the PlayStation Portal works. I had no intention of getting this whatsoever at all. Like zero intention of getting this. This is entirely Ahmed's fault. No, but he's talking about Final Fantasy VII. I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. Like I loved Final Fantasy VII back in the day. And I'll tell you right now, man, the Steam Deck, I point up there because I just got my dock in finally. After like a month, it finally shipped.
Did you bought the official one, right?
Yeah, but they're all the same, man. They're all like $85, $90 for like, they're all around the same thing. This one's really good. It's really, really cool. Works super, super well. But I'll tell you, man, like my Steam Deck by like the end of the year, next year, something, the battery's going to be totally dead.
Not good.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Weird how.
It's the only thing. Valve is so strange with hardware. Like, do you remember the Steam machines?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
And like that was like a colossal failure because they didn't have Proton back then. So it was like you had to run your games natively on Linux. How many Steam games run native now? Today more, but
more, but even still. Big games are never going to be on Linux.
Well, that's the thing. So, but I've got my eye on these guys because I'm like, the Steam Deck, while not perfect, there is something there, man. Like there is really something there where I don't know. It's so funny. Like, so they start with their, what was it? It was the Steam machines was the first thing, right? With the controller and stuff, and everybody was making fun of them and all of that. That, I still don't understand why they did that without having an emulation layer on top, or like a virtual machine on top of Linux. I don't understand what they were thinking with that, but whatever. Then they did the Steam Link, I think is what it was called. And because Steam Link still exists, that's how the stream works. That's exactly how the streaming works. But if I remember right, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember right, it was like an Apple TV like device or a Roku that you would connect. But this is the first device that they've made where I was like, you're close. Like, you're really close to something great. And I would be very curious to see if they try again. I wouldn't be surprised if they try a Steam Machine 2.0, but this time limiting it to themselves. Don't go to other manufacturers. Keep it really simple. That's what's so good about the Steam Deck, is like it's super simple to use. Like Steven could get this, buy this, and have a blast. And like he could totally do that. But you and I would buy this and we would do so much more, right? Like the first thing I do is switch it to desktop mode, right? So now I'm running a full version of Linux. One of the first things I did this week, talking with you, talking with Ahmed, and this guy at work, Johans, he was telling me, it was like, oh, for his son, he bought, I don't remember the name. I think it was called Legion, maybe. It's like a Steam Deck. It's like a all-in-one handheld PC. Okay. Something, maybe I'm wrong with the name. And he was telling me, he was like, Jarrod, like, yeah, it's fun to, like try and play like some modern games and stuff like that. And he was like, listen, 100%, if you want simplicity, he's like Steam Deck all the way. But he's like, but what's cool with this is it's all native because it's Windows. So he's like, all the PC games are 100% native. There's no emulation. There's no whatever. But he started talking about emulation in general. And I know you don't, you always say like, you don't go back. You don't, you don't do that. Really. But man, have I had a good week. I had so much fun, dude. Take a look at something called EmuDeck. So EmuDeck. Okay. This is freaking incredible to me. Like I cannot believe how far.
Oh, yeah, it's
Do you see what it is?
It does emulators for Steam Deck.
Dude, all you do is you click on download, okay? You click SteamOS or whatever platform you have, and that's it. It literally takes care of
all your retro
everything.
Games.
Do you remember what a pain in the ass it used to be to like get the settings just right and all that kind of stuff?
Oh yeah.
Now you don't have to do a damn thing. It does it all for you. You take your ROMs, shoot your ROMs in the ROMs folder, and get this. It even connects with Steam so that in your Steam library, you have what are called collections. And the collections, it would be like PS1, PS2, PS3, all your different systems. Click on that, and you even get the little cards, the backdrops. I was like, this is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, awesome. And I'll look at the list here. I forgot there was a Crazy Taxi 2, Daytona USA 2001. Oh, man, I missed that series. That was a great series. But Grandia, man, you're right, there's a lot of retro stuff. And what I mean by retro mostly is like, I don't like replaying the same game because it's never quite the same magic. There was only one exception that you probably remember, the ActRaiser for Super NES. I played that game over. I loved it so much over and over. And 2 was they actually did a remake, and I was so tempted to do it, but I was like, it's just not going to hold up like it did then because it was new. It was fresh. The only reason I would play is because I was such a huge fan of it. And I'm pretty sure, but like that Contra, I'm going to get.
Contra, I'm going to get.
I don't mind like retro, but I do like when they redo it. What I mean traditionally by retro is like Cranberry will literally play not just her and other plays, some of our viewers too, will actually play the OG versions. And it's like Super Mario Brothers. It was great when I was 7 years old, guys. Now.
No, but that's okay. To each his own. Like, so for me, what I find amazing is for the first time in my life, I can sit on my sofa and play Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3. Like, I was like, wow, man. And not only that, like, there are some incredible games out there that, yes, retro, but people have done some they're hacks, right? But they're not hacks in the way that people think of hacks. Like, a lot of people, when you think of hacks, you think of, like, Ultra Mario Brothers, where it's like people are not even building levels necessarily, but like modifying and whatever. It's the same concept, but people have done such little tweaks that I friggin' love. Like, there's something like what is it? I forget the exact name, but it's like the ultimate director's cut of Resident Evil 1 DualShock version. So,
oh man,
for people like me, when Resident Evil came out, the original OG, like, like, what is it, long box PlayStation 1 games, I remember I was living with my parents still, my brother and I in the basement with his friend Eric, and seeing that for the first time. You got to remember, this was like, this is before Mario 64 and all of that, like 1995-ish. Like, and even if I'm mistaken, guys, with the years, whatever, for me, getting to see that, like actually walking around in a three-dimensional space and slowly going, and I know the tank controls, everybody, craps all over them and stuff, but it made sense back then. And like, that game to this day, I totally love the remake, don't get me wrong. Like, that was like a good example of where, like, they did an incredible job of remaking that. But I love the original game. Like, there's just the crappy voice acting, the horrible dialogue, and all of that, because
that was done on purpose, if I remember.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a B movie, 100%,
so
exactly. And the thing was that I think Capcom was blown away by how popular that was. Like, I'm sure they had no intention of this being like a big series. And they released it multiple times, that original game. But they started to do a lot of stuff like George Lucas with his Star Wars series, where it's like they would constantly release, like we had the VHS version, the Laserdisc version, the DVD version, the Ultimate DVD version, the Omega Ultra, and
look at Part 4. How many systems have that been on?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just recently got remastered again.
Yeah. So with the original Resident Evil, I mean, do I have it here?
Show us. Do you still have it?
Yes, I do.
It's funny. It's gonna that box is gonna be older than some of our viewers.
Well, I have. Okay, so wait a sec. Hold on. This is.
Oh, you have the remake one or the?
No, wait a sec. Remember, I told you I got all my PlayStation games right here, man. They're all right here.
Amazing.
Hold on a sec. Just
while you're doing that, thinking of retro. Now, this is an example of a game I like. It's not retro, 100% brand new, but with retro graphics. Look up on Steam when you get a it's on sale, 30% up. I'm going to definitely buy it this weekend. It is Blood West. It's a FTP older style, so it's kind of like it has the visuals of like I guess it's similar to what a PlayStation 1 has.
Do you want a 1 terabyte M2 thing?
Yeah, there you go.
This is from my beta.
That's so awesome.
My beta unit of my friggin' Polymega that they never came in, the video I did there. So this thing is basically filled with ROMs.
Wow.
Okay, so here. So this was the second one that was released.
Oh, nice.
I don't. My long boxes are are my DVD rack, but this was the first one that had the interactive demo of Resident Evil 2. And then after this, which is so funny, man. Like, it's so funny going back, Resident Evil 2 demo. And you know what? I should try this, dude. Because see that logo?
Oh, wow.
That's the logo of Resident Evil 1.5, which we'll talk about in a sec. And then they did the green one, which was the director's cut with the DualShock thing on it. So, anywho, whatever. Big nerdo here. But the point of all of this is that this version is the ideal version of the game, right? Because you have the DualShock compatibility. People forget, but there was no DualShock when the original versions came out. And I also have 2 versions of Resident Evil 2, because when the original Resident Evil 2 came out, the DualShock wasn't out yet. People always forget about that kind of stuff. But the problem was with the director's cut is they changed the music.
Oh, okay.
And so that annoyed fans like me. I was like, what the hell, man? And so there is a version of this that a fan basically went back, I say this is director's cut, but I'm not actually sure. I think it was the original music. Took the original music, put it in this, took the Sega Saturn bonus content, put it in this, and took all of the different features and stuff that come from all the other ones and shoved it into it, and was basically the final cut of Resident Evil 1. And it's awesome, dude, being able to just play that on the EmuDeck or however it's pronounced. Yeah. And that's it. I literally can go from the deck, switch it into desktop mode, go to the website, download the ROM, and away I go. There you go. I'm done. It's super cool, man. It's super, super cool. And
retro's huge, man, right now. And like as we discussed, a lot of AAA games are kind of getting a lot of negative feedback, and the whole market, the way we are right now with gaming is kind of very suspicious, meaning all this microtransaction crap. So I don't know, but so that's why I think retro. Plus, sometimes if you played these games for the first time now, they're new to you. But that's why I'm not a big fan of retro.
No,
it's
exactly.
never as fun the second time.
I got something for you. So did you ever even play, not this version, but did you ever play the original?
No, I played Resident Evil 2 because it came on the Nintendo 64, right? If I remember right.
Yep.
I played that. Of course, I had Resident Evil 4 because it was on GameCube. You remember, I did get PlayStation 3. That was the last PlayStation I got. So what Resident Evils came on that system? I can't remember.
Would have been 5.
So 5 like that. Yeah, but I didn't play any of the PlayStation 1.
Okay, so games. Perfect. So for you, this is not going to, it's not going to be as, whoop-de-doo. But without me putting that disc in, without me putting in this demo disc, because I don't remember, guys, so I don't want to lie to you. Because at one point, Resident Evil 2 was in 1997. Okay, it was supposed to come out in March 1997, I think it was. Something like that. And they scrapped it right at the, I think it was the version that's out in the public right now is 40% complete. But there apparently is a version that's 60% complete that Capcom's never leaked. Okay? They canceled it. Now that was a huge gamble for them, because Resident Evil 2 would eventually come out in 1998 with Ocarina of Time and Metal Gear Solid. That year, 1998, I'll never forget. That was for me personally, that was one of the best years ever in gaming. Because I got Resident Evil 2, Metal Gear Solid, and Ocarina of Time all in the same year. I was like, how do you beat this, man?
You can't.
No, exactly. But that original version of Resident Evil 2, the fans sort of renamed it Resident Evil 1.5. And when the 40% version got leaked, I don't remember the whole story. I think it was sold on eBay, and then someone did a data ROM dump and whatever, but you couldn't play it. It was basically rooms without zombies and stuff like that. And guys, if I'm screwing this up, it's a long time ago, but it was something like that. And then I don't remember who. So I don't remember if it was a group of people, one dude. I don't remember. But someone meticulously started to put the game together. Right? So let's say you had like the police station. You had the front of the police station, and then you had like the jail cells, and you had something else. So originally, all those rooms were they weren't connected, right? Like it was just one room, and your little guy would move around. So someone actually connected all the hallways, all the things, and meticulously put this all together. They have just been doing this over the last, I want to say, 15 years as like a love project or a passion project. And the last version, and they're still doing it. They haven't stopped. But the last one was released, I think it was like mid 2023.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I haven't played it, right? So this morning I was like, oh, let's give it a go. So downloaded it and playing it on the PlayStation emulator. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is so cool, man. It's like going back to your childhood and, well, my teenage years, not childhood, but it's like going back in time. So imagine you, like ActRaiser, you were saying, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and imagine finding out that there's an ActRaiser 2 that exists, that is not the one that you played, that was more like the original, and you found out today. Like,
I would love it. Yeah,
the feeling you get is so hard to explain. Like this morning when I booted it up, I was just like, I haven't felt like this since I was a teenager. Like, because it's the same style, the same everything. And I was just like, this is awesome, man. Like, this is absolutely awesome that people have done this kind of stuff. Like, so yeah, I'm having a blast with this. Like, I can't wait to see if they ever truly finish the whole game. Like, I'm happy they scrapped it, because you can see it's like too different from the original Resident Evil in certain ways. Like zombies, for example. Now that I went back and I'm playing the Sega Saturn version of Resident Evil 1, and like zombies are around 5 bullets to take down, something like that ish. In this one, I don't think you can actually kill zombies.
Oh, really?
Like, you knock them down, they can still crawl after you. I don't think they actually die, though. Like, ever stay dead type of thing. And I think it would have been way too hard for, like, the general, like, public type of thing. But you would get a kick out of it, too, because you did play Resident Evil 2. So, instead of it being, like, the gothic... You know, like the original Resident Evil, like the police station's like an old building that was converted. This one, it's a modern police station.
Interesting, yeah.
So it's really cool. So anyways, I'll shut up about this, but like it was just really, I'm having an absolute blast with this right now. And I think like over the next couple of weeks and months, I think more and more this is going to be like the type of stuff I'm going to be doing, where like sitting on my sofa, have my Steam Deck. If I can get a little more money, just because like there's so many things going on right now, I would totally I would buy an OLED Steam Deck just for the improved battery life. It would be totally worth it just for that. And I am going to keep my eyes on Valve very closely, because I legitimately think they're close to something special here. I don't know.
You think they're going to make a Steam Deck 2, though? That's a big rumor. So.
Oh, for sure. No, 100% they already confirmed that like the OLED one was the last like variation. And then they said like the next one will be a legitimate successor, whatever they end up like calling it type of thing. But I just love the way that they have like Joe Schmo everyday user, but they also give people that want to tinker a little bit, they give you the freedom to go ahead and do that. And that is friggin' awesome, man. Like, it's awesome. Yeah. Okay. That's that. That's it for me. I'm done. You may now take over this entire thing. Because...
There we go. Now the show really starts.
Yeah.
Now, thinking of Capcom, though, remember, Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out on the 21st of this month. I will be getting that. I don't usually pay for single player games full price. I always wait. But this one is like a cult classic. It's been 10 years since the last one. So $69.99. I know it's expensive, but it'll be well worth it, guys. If you're familiar with it, it's kind of like a Soul type game, kind of similarity, but you mount it. Dragon's Dogma, you could probably get pretty damn cheap right now, anyways, on Switch, Steam, and all that. As a matter of fact, Dragon's Dogma is on sale on the Steam, so if you haven't played that, get it there in prep. Quick thing we want to talk about is Warner Brothers. Remember when we were talking about Suicide Squad a little while ago and how it didn't meet expectations? So Warner Brothers, to let you guys know, had a huge success with Hogwarts Legacy, which is based on a huge success, a single-player game.
It was a great game.
But yeah, I actually have it. I just got it on sale. It's on my queue to play. I'm going to definitely see. I love those type of games.
Oh, anyways, it's great. It's really good. No joke. It's really good.
These are all perfect. I'll definitely let you know what I think about it soon. We'll talk about it in the podcast. But they're saying single-player games are dead. Now, a lot of companies are kind of saying that, right? That live service games are way to go, which is interesting because their latest live service game, Suicide Squad, didn't meet their expectations, but they're saying, screw Hogwarts type games, even though it made us a ton of money. We're going to focus on live service, which isn't bad. Live service, if done right, like Helldivers 2 is awesome. But what do you think about that? That they kind of interesting that their latest live service game kind of flopped. I mean, and then now they're saying, screw single player games, and we're just going to focus on them. Doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Warner Brothers is an interesting company, but
I'll tell you. I will give you the Jarrod reason. Business, my good man, business. These are a bunch of suits that look at, you made a product. It's a one shot and done product, right?
That's what I was going to add to. Yes.
And now all these millions of people got to go and buy this product, right? And then that's it. It's done. It's over. And now we have to make our next product. So it's really easy to get blinded by that. Really easy. Like if you don't know gaming, right? It's so easy to just be like, who cares? Just make it so that you can play it forever. And away you go. But we had that whole conversation last week and the week before and so on that, I don't know what's going to happen. I think gaming as a whole, we got to get back down to like our Super Nintendo, PlayStation, N64 eras again, where you're going to have your big releases, but we got to get back to those A games or like AA games instead of these AAA.
Yes, exactly.
Huge, because this is the problem. Otherwise, every one of these companies is going to turn into a live service game, all of them, because they're going to need perpetual revenue. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that's going to just destroy the whole industry.
It's true, and I'm glad you brought that up, because you're right. And you also have to look at the success of Fortnite. But Fortnite, Epic does such a great job. It's an actual platform now, which has, like I said, it has several different sub games in it that license. They did a great job, and a lot of these, like you said, the bigwigs, the suits want that. And I can understand it from their perspective because, like you said, like a Hogwarts Legacy, I don't know what the budget was, but I'm assuming it costs a lot of money.
I'm sure.
Luckily, they chose wisely with a very popular IP, and it was a success. But not everything's like that, right? Thinking of live service games, Nick and I, one of our viewers and on Discord, him and I talk about this. He's kind of a old school retro. He plays a lot of retro, but he also plays a lot of Monster Hunter. And he loves it. I mean, I love the series too. I buy it too. I don't quite dedicated as he is, because it's the problem with Monster Hunter, and I know fans are probably going to rip me apart about this, is it's just like Diablo. It's like you get this game, you grind, get the best loot so you could kill a boss. And I'm exaggerating here. You kill the boss 10 to 15 seconds or 20 seconds faster. I'm exaggerating, right? It basically, when you get the ultimate gear, the game's becomes easier because you can, The problem is they usually only do one expansion per game, right? Capcom does with their Monster Hunter. It's like, what's the point? The story's really not that it'd be different if it had an amazing story that you followed and did keep you enticed. But at the end of the day, it's like, wow, I spent 1,000 hours and this game's done. I know in 2 years I have to buy another one and do it again. It's not so bad, I guess. But the problem is, and I've told him this many times, I want a live service version of Monster Hunter, which is something that, like World of Warcraft, 20 years and still going strong. Well, obviously MMO's a little bit different, but my thing is, Jared, what if we had this Monster Hunter where my character's 4, 5, 6 years and it's gone through grand adventures, knowing that all the hard work I put will pay off for the next major release, and that's what I want. So I don't dislike live service games if they're done right.
Yeah, and that's
like, it. Monster Hunter, all this work for what? I gotta do it again, and then I gotta do it again. And it gets kind of tedious and tiring after a while. So
yeah, and I've been saying, right, to each his own, and that's okay. I mean, it's fine, right? Like I actually really do agree with you for a lot of different series that I think could benefit from this type of thing. Get rid of all this microtransaction BS, and it's kind of funny because like that's what I loved about WoW is just pay your monthly subscription and it's nonstop forever. Look at Dragon Quest. For all the hate you give it with the graphics and stuff, it's incredible to me to think that like that game now has survived multiple console generations, and my character has...
It's still there.
Yeah,
you see what I'm talking about? Just like my Druid and Hunter and after all 20 years, they're still there. And that's what I've told with Monster Hunter. It's like every game reset, it's just like you have to do it again. I mean, it's still they do some unique stuff, but it's never, I want something that lasts.
Yeah, and I mean it all depends, right? Like if you've got good stories, if you're like self-contained type of thing, and it's just incredible because I'll go back to my little Resident Evil here. Like I was like the biggest fan of Resident Evil. Like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation, honestly, like it was to me was like the creation of a brand new genre. Like it was something incredible, and yet I have fallen so far out of that series now that it's sad, man. Like it's legitimately sad. Like what was it? Resident Evil. Jesus, what was it? After 5, it was 6 was the one that was like all action and like all of this. Then it was 7, and now it's 8. I haven't even played these, man.
Yeah, they're drastically different too, aren't? Didn't they switch to first person now?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Like they've got people like game companies, you got to keep things fresh, you got to keep things original. Your live service stuff, like I get it. I do get that you want to try to do these sorts of things. But for me personally, I am such a traditionalist. Like it's a good thing I don't run a game company, because I swear to God, we'd still be with like NES graphics because no. But like I forget the game. I don't remember what the hell it was called. There was a game that was released on Steam and a bunch of other stuff. I can't think of the name. It was a survival horror game exactly like Resident Evil. And
7 days to die. That's probably not.
No, I don't. I honestly don't remember. Dude, it was a lower budget game. It was like an A game type of thing. And I was like, this is incredible. Like, this is incredible. What I miss about survival horror, I miss just exploring and not knowing what's coming, like what's around the next corner type of thing. As much as people like poo-pooed over like pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff like that, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but I friggin' miss that. Like, go and play Resident Evil Remake today and tell me that does not look incredible. incredible. Where you have like the little bugs like flying around in the smoke and all of that. And it reminded me so much that I actually downloaded it and put it on my Steam Deck. Fear Effect. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, man. And I, to this day, I stand by that series was never given a real chance to thrive because of the whole over sexualization that they did with it and all. I don't know why they did that in the marketing, because the game is not like that at all, but the marketing was like, it was like hyper sexualized. But that game, even today, putting that on my Steam Deck, I was like, damn, man, this looks good. Like, and we're talking a game from like what, 98, 99, 2000, somewhere around there. And I always wondered what that could have looked like as they went on. And I'll just end it with, just in case people don't know what it is, but it was another like survival horror clone. There were so many back then. But the big difference with this one was it had full motion video as your backgrounds instead of static images.
Oh, okay. That's
and
interesting.
Dude, it was unbelievable. Like, it was just unbelievable. And then, yes, they looped and stuff like that, of course. But I always wondered, I was like, man, could you imagine what you could have done with that tech as technology like advanced and stuff? And anyway, this was a retro podcast, man.
Yeah, exactly. Talk a lot about retro stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting where retro is really big right now. Like I said, thinking of which, Blood West. Look that up. It's on sale, guys, on Steam. It is a retro game, not really retro graphics. It's a brand new game, brand new level designs, but it does have
what's it called?
Blood West. Look it up on Steam. Tell me what you think about it. You'll see the visuals, man. It's old school kind of first-person shooter. Like, the visuals are, they're probably better than PlayStation 1. Maybe PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 kind of visuals, maybe. I don't know what era they would be, but it is definitely a old, dated type stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Did you ever try, what is it, Ion Fury? Yeah, come on, look it up, dude. Put that on your wish list. Just do me a favor. Put that on your wish list.
I think I did, right? There it is. Yeah, didn't you tell me about this?
Yeah, I reviewed.
Oh yeah, this is a retro type game.
Yeah, this is the follow up to Duke Nukem 3D that we never got, that we should have got. Like, I freaking love this game.
Like Duke Nukem 3D Shadow.
Yeah, it's a great.
Yeah, look at that.
If it ever goes on sale, pick it up, man. It's hilarious because it's the same attitude and like just hilarious.
Thinking of another game, look this up real quick. It's on Game Pass. I'm going to play this. I'll let you know what it is. It's Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun. One word, Bolt Gun. And this has retro type graphics, just like the one you just showed me. Yeah, so I do play retro type visuals. I'm just not a big fan of ports of old games I've played before, so that's what I mean by
it's on. Yeah, okay, it's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
interesting.
It is on Game Pass. It just came out, so you could, if you have that service, you get to play for
what
free.
I don't see any screenshots. What's the it's a first person shooter? Okay.
Yeah, and it's in the Warhammer 40K universe. So.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you see the visuals very similar to what you just showed.
Yeah, okay, I'll add that.
In the Blood West.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get my Steam Deck, how to get Xbox on my Steam Deck. There's got to be a way to do it.
Oh yeah, exactly. It has to, and it's Steam Deck compatible, verified. So
yeah, but if I download it from Xbox, I don't pay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have a cloud version.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out because I know you can. I should be able to do that. I should be able to download. Anyway, I'll figure that out.
All right. I think it was a great podcast. We had some sad news, but we played a little bit of tribute to the good man. It's amazing to see the social media reaction to him. The guy has a lot of fans, a lot of respect for him. Some sites even stopped selling Dragon Quest merchandise for a day just to pay respect for him. So, things like that. Yep. That's it.
All right, guys. Well, listen, yeah, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. You will be missed, sir. And everyone else, we'll catch you next week. Wish you all the best, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.